What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tyrell back with another one. Now today, I got a special video for y'all. We got the 10 most insane banned water slides in the world. So let's go ahead and get into the video and see what's going on.
Water slides you can't ride. Hey there, YouTube. Tell me, what could possibly go wrong on a water slide? They're way slower and more enclosed than roller coasters. Well, usually. Things could happen, like getting stuck, in the dark, and even being slammed into someone 3 times your size. I've experienced that before. Oh, and
What? Wait a minute, I know y'all just seen that, right? Hey, bro, like, what are you doing without a float, just standing up inside a water slide?
I've experienced that before. Oh, and how could I forget falling off the edge? But hey, there's still a great time. Just ignore the broken bones, the possible monsters living in the tubes, and also the fat guy you collided with. That's why today we're going to tell you 10 water slides that you don't have to worry about riding anymore. Here's 10 banned water slides you can't ride. I can ride it though, I'm awesome like that. Let's begin, shall we? Number 10, Steamer Slide. Barring how dirty this name can be construed, Calypso Waterpark in Ottawa, Canada was slammed with 20 charges in 2015 due to safety issues.
20
9 were
charges?
withdrawn during the trial, leaving 11 charges remaining. The Calypso Waterpark was found guilty of 6 of these charges. These charges mainly concerned a particularly dangerous slide called the Steamer Slide. Now here's how this slide goes. Riders on the steamer plummeted down the sled on tubes, and those tubes slipped fairly frequently, leaving several people injured. One person broke a vertebra in 2 places on the ride. Another broke their collarbone. When these injuries happened, the water park failed to report the incidents or shut down the slide. Oh boy, what's this? You got a broken collarbone? I can't feel my face. Hey, walk it off, kid. He's a lollipop. And what about you? I broke both of my legs. Walk it off. Number 9, Aquasphere. Now this one sounds less dirty and more like a Pokemon move. The Aquasphere is part of the Peninsula Aquatic Recreation Center. This slide, which features long, winding paths, has been plagued with all kinds of problems since its conception. These problems usually result in people suffering some pretty intense injuries. One boy was seen thrown out the side of the bottom completely limp after falling off the raft and being bounced around inside the slide. The impacts left him unconscious. After this incident, the slide was closed for investigations into what caused the problem. However, this is hardly the first time the slide has been shut down after an injury. In its past, the slide has severely injured 2 young boys in one incident, and had its pipe burst in another, as well as injured 2 adults who hit their heads on the ceiling of the slide. Even when the ride was first tested by the staff and their families for a private event after first being built, it still managed to injure several people. Number 8, Shoot the Rapids. Shoot the Rapids is a water slide in Cedar Point. Riders get to go down a massive slide while on a raft, with up to 10 people fitting on one raft. The ride was the site of one of the worst injuries and incidents in water slide history. One of the rafts was being pulled to the top of the hill when the ride malfunctioned. The raft was sent hurtling back down the hill before flipping upside down. That meant that 10 people, count them, 10, were stuck in their seats, trapped in the water with no way out. One woman had suffered severe head injuries. There were children on the raft who were scared out of their minds. People rushed into the water and attempted to manually flip the raft back over by hand. If it weren't for these brave people who answered the call, the people on the raft probably would have drowned. Number 7.
See, y'all, that's why I can't. Oh, man, let me fix my shirt. There we go. That's why I can't trust these things, man. I'm sorry, like, I've been on water slides before as a kid, but I think it was one good time to where I was on the water slide. And that thing was so steep. It was on like a little raft. The thing was so steep to where I swear that I was literally like that close of like falling forward, like all the way down. Like that's how like the feeling you got. But yeah, I don't do no water slides. I don't do no roller coasters, none of that, man. And because sometimes, man, a lot of times you really don't know, man. It could be any given day, something can happen. So yeah.
Black Hole. One of the most infamous water slides in the world is the Black Hole slide at the Wet n Wild Waterpark in Orlando. Don't know why I went southern there, but hey, whatevs. It has been the target of several lawsuits, all filed by people who have been seriously injured while riding this death trap. In 2000, a man was awarded $1.73 million after filing a lawsuit pertaining to severe injuries he suffered in the black hole. He was struck by an unknown object while traveling down the slide. When he was ejected out from the bottom of the slide, he couldn't move his legs. He later needed metal plates implanted into his neck. There have been countless other lawsuits against Wet n Wild after injuries sustained in the black hole. One girl suffered injuries after falling off her tube, hitting the bottom. Another person came to a complete stop and was hit hard by the next person coming down the slide. Another girl's tube flipped, injuring her.
Yeah, it needs some
Kind of
links in
seeing
there.
a recurring pattern here. The main problem is that the ride takes 23 seconds for a person to complete, but the staff send a tube down every 20 seconds, meaning they don't wait until the first person has left the slide before pushing another person down. Number 6. Insano Waterslide. For our next water slide, we go to Brazil's Beach Park. It's home to one of the tallest water slides in the world. We are, of course, talking about...
Yo, so I remember exactly what I was telling y'all about that story, how it's going down the float. So this one right here, this slide look exactly what I was talking about. So it's up. It's it's one of them slides where it starts up here, what most slides do. But yeah, so you kind of get on your little tube and it's like a steep drop, just like that. This is how exactly. This is a perfect example of what I was telling y'all earlier.
The Insano Water Slide. This thing is a whopping 41 meters in height. That's the same as a 14-story building, so it was bound to have terrible injuries associated with it. Riders experience speeds of over 65 miles per hour on their riveting way down to the bottom. They say it is so steep that your body barely touches the actual slide. You're in midair for most of the ride. Because of this, it's incredibly important to cross your ankles and cross your arms around your chest if you want to ride this thing. For all the hype, the slide is over in about 4 or 5 seconds. Staff often laugh at people who come out of the bottom of this ride. These tourists are often reduced to tears by the time they get spat out of the bottom of this behemoth. I mean, can you blame them? That's a 14-story building drop. It's terrifying. I mean, what if there's an alligator down there you didn't know about it? Actually, it'd be a caiman considering it's Brazil, but still, it's terrifying. Number 5, Sahara Sidewinder. The poor people can stand injuries. Excuse me while I go take a money bath. Yeah, that's about how I imagine it goes over there in that kind of business. Number 4, Cannonball Falls. For the next of our dangerous water slides, we return once again to the infamous Action Park. Having a water park with the most injuries in the state is one thing, but what about the single water slide that has the most injuries in the entire state? That honor goes to Cannonball Falls, the most dangerous ride in the most dangerous park in the most dangerous state, New Jersey. Let's get dangerous. Because of the sheer amount of people who were getting injured on this thing, the park had to shut down in September 2015. The slide ends with a 10-foot sheer drop into a pool. 6 people were severely injured in only 1 season. 5 of these people all suffered the same injury, an injury to the shoulder. The company that operates the park was extremely reluctant to pay for medical treatment for any of Cannonball Falls' victims. Excuse me, sir, they want compensation for their injuries. How dare they? I give them entertainment and they give me money. How dare they want it back? Money. Number 3, the Verrucht. One of the most recent and horrific tragedies to have occurred on a waterslide involved a waterslide called Verrucht. This waterslide is located in the Kansas City Waterpark and is the tallest, largest waterslide in the world. It's 17 stories high. Remember that argument I made about the other one that's terrifying? That's over 51 meters. Caleb Schwab, a 10-year-old boy, was thrown from the raft and decapitated in August 2016. The boy was very skinny and many people are saying he shouldn't have been allowed on the slide, which also has a height limit. Verrucht is a German word that translated roughly as crazy. Since the incident, the slide has been rightfully shut down. Now you know what? Let's go with another German word. The German word of today is unverantwortlich, which translates to irresponsible. Number 2, Geronimo.
Could y'all imagine that? Like the ride gets finished, and you just see somebody with a decapitated head. Like, I don't know. Like, I probably would never get that image stuck out of my head. Like, that's gotta be one of the craziest moments if I ever see something like that.
Falls. Geronimo Falls is a slide in the infamous Action Park, a water park in New Jersey where several people were injured, died, or sued the park because of its lack of safety precautions. Kind of a common theme around these water parks. Sounds like fun, am I right? Well, maybe not. Geronimo Falls no longer exists, but when it did, it was considered one of the most extreme slides of all time.
Now, something like that, I don't understand. Bro, like, that's just too steep. That's just too steep. It's like you're more likely just to fall over. Like, I don't know about that one.
This was due to its incredibly stupid amount of steepness. The incline was insane. Today's slides don't even try to match this level of steepness. There's a few reasons for that, actually, but the most important reason they don't make slides this steep anymore is because when you build a slide like Geronimo Falls, people sliding down it actually start flying into the air instead of sticking to the slide's surface. They continued this problem by installing a metal grate over the slide's opening. That meant tons of people slammed into the metal grate and they were bounced back down into the slide, causing severe injuries. People going down this slide experienced speeds upwards of 60 miles per hour. Number 1. Cannonball Loop. It was rumored that this attraction was never actually open to customers, but in 1985 the Cannonball Loop was indeed open for business. During testing of the Cannonball Loop, dummies were thrown in and decapitated. The attraction was adjusted until the dummies came through with heads intact, and then park employees were offered $100 to test it out themselves. Boy, that's great management. Thankfully, no one died on this monstrosity, but some people did become stuck. And before it was closed for good, a trapdoor was installed into the loop to retrieve pinned riders. And that's our video for today. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going on a...
Man, listen. I think we all learned a valuable lesson today. Do not go to any water parks unless you want to lose your head. If you're ready for a chance for your head to be taken off, go to a water park by any means, but I wouldn't recommend it. That's a little crazy. I mean, that's just me. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Like, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna catch you on the next one. I'm out.
Like told me to promise you gon' squeeze